Breaking news, Democratic Lieutenant Governor Sara Rodriguez is out of the race for Wisconsin governor after a major money mishap inside her campaign.
As we have continued to dig into our financial reports, it has become clear that there are issues that would be an ongoing distraction, not just for this campaign, but for the primary and for Wisconsin. This race is too important to let that happen.
Rodriguez says an internal review found her longtime campaign manager had been double counting some contributions, leaving the campaign with about $200,000 cash on hand, hundreds of $1,000s less than believed. She fired that manager earlier this week, calling it serious mismanagement and financial inaccuracies. This morning, she officially dropped out of the race. Rodriguez did not endorse any of the four remaining Democratic candidates, Mandela Barnes, Joel Brennan, Francesca Hong, and Kelda Roys, who are running against Republican frontrunner Tom Tiffany. Andy Mansky is also in that race. Meanwhile, political director Matt Smith of our partner station WISN is reporting that Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley strongly considering re-entering the race after dropping out last week. If Crowley does get back in, Governor Tony Evers reportedly considering endorsing him. The primary election is August 11th. You can watch the debate of the remaining Democratic candidates here on WBAY on July 28th. And of course, we will have much more on this tonight on Action 2 News.